The Real Talk with Kings Deal Gudere. Um, I was all set to have a debate. I've been posting a lot of LeBron facts, I call them, because being a Laker fan, I was very, very, very much disappointed with the outcome of the season, and it seemed like we go through the same drama every year. And so I have a platform that I thank God that I can express myself. And when it comes to basketball, I feel like, hey, just like anybody else, I have a right to express myself. And if things that I feel that is disappointing, or things that I feel that I should talk about, I talk about it. That's what I'm here to do. And unfortunately, LeBron fans, they seem to get offended very easily when I point out the flaws. As a Laker fan, and as a former professional basketball player, so I have experience in what I'm talking about. However, how that experience is, I know what I'm talking about. I know basketball, So there's nobody that you can put in front of me that I say, hey, look, when LeBron doesn't play defense, and I point it out, it's not to offend you. I'm a Laker fan. You feel me? I'm a Laker fan. I want the Lakers to win. When he's jumping around, flaring around, yelling at Austin Reeves, and it's your assignment, when I played, my teammates would testify. I hold everybody accountable, and I want to be held accountable. I want to get better. But more importantly, I want to win. I've played against, other professional athletes, some of the best in the world. And I'm proud to say I've always held my own. So I know what I'm talking about. I'm not ashamed when I walk into a gym. I'm 52 years old right now. You feel me? When LeBron is flaring around, all of that, and it's his missed assignment, I'm going to call it out. Like I said, I was, I talk trash, but I'm ready to back up my trash. I invited somebody on here. I'm not going to put him on blast because I'm a gentleman about mine. But I've had many LeBron fans start. I say, I'll shoot you an invite. Come on the platform. We'll talk about it. I'm not going to insult you. I'm not, I'm a gentleman, But I am a gentleman. You know what I mean? Hey, if you insult me, I insult you back. I mean, I keep it real. You know what I mean? Like, hey. But if you want to be articulate, we'll be articulate. We'll talk facts. If you want to do a debate, we'll do a debate. I come in all forms. So I'm going to give you my facts tonight. I'm going to give you 5 essential reasons why I think Michael Jordan is the GOAT. So, like I said, I've had friends that are Jordan fans. Great. Jordan's not the greatest human being in the world. He has flaws. I don't particularly like the way his stance with Nike, with the sweatshops back in the day. That was something I was like, ooh, right. You know what I mean? Like, hey, but at the same time, we're not talking about, this man off the court. LeBron is a great human being, from what I understand. I don't hear any negative news about him. He's a great family man, beautiful family. I love the fact that he's got 2 great sons that's hooping, following in his footsteps. That's wonderful. Me as a father, I admire that. I admire LeBron for what he's accomplished. I don't want to diminish that man's greatness. He's an awesome player. To last 21 years in the NBA, are you freaking kidding me? It's remarkable. And not only last, performing at a high level, to be still regarded as one of the top players in the league right now as we speak. You can't count, it's hard to count 3, 4 players without mentioning LeBron. That's remarkable. Doesn't take away from, I mean, I'm not here to diminish him. It would be crazy. I was trying to get on his team in Cleveland. Hey, keeping it real. Cleveland brought me in for a workout. I was in a hotel when they hired Mike Brown the first time, watching his press conference. I was working out, a couple of days there. I was in Cleveland like 3, 4 days. Worked out for him, everything. I mean, they paid for my flight, paid for everything. Hey, I'll come work out. I'm trying to get on the team with LeBron and Igoscus and Eric Snow. That's who they had on the squad back then. So believe me, it's for LeBron to be in the league and doing what he's doing. It's a remarkable feat. But when you compare him to Michael Jordan, what Michael Jordan was able to accomplish, the remarkable things that he accomplished at the high level with the prime of the prime, man. This is one of the remarkable things that I'm going to give you on my list here. I didn't write this, but I did a little bit of research and kind of like, hey, I found a place where they broke it down best, and I'm just going to give you, because that's that top 5 right there. One of them is like a Jordan's rookie year. What he was able to accomplish. He was one of 4 players in NBA history to average over 20 points a game, 5 rebounds, 5 assists. It was only 4 players to do it. And LeBron is actually one of those players, which means that LeBron is banned. It's like Tyreek Evans. Surprising. I know I'm like Tyreek Evans. He played for the Kings. I actually saw him play. He played with Ime that year. So I actually went to a lot of the game. I saw a lot of this happen with me. That rookie got down. But Oscar Robertson was another guy on that list. So that the 4 guys is Tyreek Evans, LeBron James, Oscar Robertson, and Michael Jordan. 20 points, 5 assists, 5 rebounds. But Jordan was the only one of them out of those 4 to also get over 2 steals a game, which is remarkable. There's a lot of those tidbits where a lot of great numbers. People like, wow, these are great. But then Jordan was also the only one to do this. One of those is like, I think it was the 88 season. It's on that list too when I break it down. This fool they robbed him in 87. I think 87, 88 season, they robbed him when he averaged like 37 points a game. 36. Yeah, and over like 200 steals and 100 blocks, over 100 blocks, 200 steals, while averaging 37 a game. So what did he do? He upped those numbers. He was like, I'm gonna show y'all something. Y'all gonna rob me? I'm gonna make it that you can't deny it. He was only the offensive player of the year and defensive player of the year. It's never been done ever in the history of the NBA, where you are the best offensive player and the best defensive player in the same year. Never been done. So I'm gonna get right to this. I don't want to bore y'all, because when these people start talking, like, come with facts. There's no sentiments here. I'm not paid by Jordan, but I'm gonna speak my mind. So we're gonna go right down. We're gonna go right down the line. Michael Jordan came into the league as NBA ready guard as you have ever seen. He's the only player to lead his team in 4 out of the 5 major statistical categories over the course of an entire season. He was the Bulls' best scorer at 28.2 points a game. Yeah, that said it right. As a rookie, he came in averaging 28.2 points per game. He came in averaging 28.2 points per game. 6.5 rebounds. 5.9 assists, as well as leading them in steals at 2.4 steals per game. And he did that more than once. He also did that in the 87-88 season. But this time he was averaging 35 points a game. And 5.9 assists, 3.2 steals, and 1.6 blocks per game. Now, he's the only 4 players in NBA history has ever averaged in 20 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists per game as a rookie. Remember, I said that earlier. And those are Tyreke Evans, LeBron James, and Oscar Robertson. And only Michael Jordan out of these 4 players also averaged more than 2 steals per game. More than 2 steals per game. Number 2 fact. He's the only guard to record 2,500 points over 5 consecutive regular seasons. Yeah. Michael Jordan is the only guard in NBA history to record over 2,500 points in 5 consecutive regular seasons. What often gets lost in the discussion about greatness is the degree of difficulty a player has to overcome in order to achieve what he has. We don't give Jordan enough credit. To be able to do this thing on the offensive end and on the defensive end, it's not easy. For example, he's the only guard to have over 2,500 points in 5 straight seasons in a spell of 1986 to 1991, and barely missing out a double-digit points in 1991 and 92 before another year of 2,500 points in 1992 and 1993. So you talk about like this man could have just, when we talk about this thing, we don't give the man credit. We don't give the man credit. In 1987 season, Michael Jordan had enough of the getting snubbed, right, for the MVP award. So in a single season dominated ever that's ever been put together by any player in terms of accolades, advanced stats would put Jordan 88 and 89 season above this one. In the modern NBA, Jordan averaged 35 points, 5.5 rebounds, and 5.9 steals per game, and 3.2 steals and 1.6 blocks per game. That season, Jordan won the regular season MVP award, the Defensive Player of the Year award, the All-Star Game MVP, First Team All-NBA, as well as All Defensive First Team selections, and won the scoring title to go along with the steals title. Did you get that? This guy won the steals title. He won the scoring title, First Team All-NBA defense, NBA All-Star MVP, regular season in MVP, offensive MVP, defensive MVP. There wasn't a title goodness gracious. This is all in one season. And on top of that, he led his team in points, assists, steals, and blocks. Despite being medium-sized guard, he's only 6'6". 6'6". But he does have one of the highest recorded vertical jumps. I think it's like is that a 50 or 48? That's crazy, crazy jumping ability. The league had also deprived him of an MVP trophy in the 1986-87 season, when he averaged 37 points a game to go along with 200 steals on 100 blocks. So that's 2 years in a row that this man averaged 37 points. And you guys wouldn't give him an MVP. So he was like, you know what? I'm just going to force my hand. It's not like his numbers dropped. All he did was just pick it up and steals, blocks, assists. He raised the bar in defensive end that season, and there was little doubt in the voters' mind. Another fact is that Jordan is the only player, this is number 3, y'all, only player to tally 250 steals, 125 blocks in the same season. And that was that season when, Jordan, oh my goodness. The numbers just seems like it seems like unbelievable. When you hear somebody's averaging 37 points a game, you're like, my goodness. But he got tired of being robbed, y'all. But this man had 200 steals on 125 blocks. He's like a defensive terror. And number 4 was his 63-point playoff game in Boston. You have to understand the mystique of Boston, y'all. You have to understand the mystique of Boston. If you scored 30 points against Boston Celtics, man, it's a celebration. But Jordan came in there, overmatched. He took one of the greatest basketball teams in history. To overtime in a playoff game. Right? With a bunch of coked out, hey, I don't want to disrespect those people, man, but we know the Bulls, those guys, it wasn't like they were a championship team back then, y'all. What would anybody do? Everybody would have laid down and not even tried, but Jordan was unstoppable. The Bulls were greatly outmatched by the Celtics, who had a stacked starting lineup of Dennis Johnson, Danny Ainge, Larry Bird, Kevin McHale, and the chief himself, Robert Parrish. While former MVP Bill Walton came off the bench. Yes, the former MVP Bill Walton came off the bench. While being guarded by primarily Larry Bird, Jordan dropped a jaw-dropping 63 points on 41 shots, 19 of 21 free throws. 19 of 21 free throws, 41 shots. He scored almost every time. Remember, that was the game where Larry Bird said, it looked like we were playing against Jesus in sneakers out there. He said it looked like Jesus was in sneakers out there. They couldn't stop him. Yeah. His exact words check this out. Jordan also added 3 steals and 2 blocks in 53 minutes of playing time. After the game, Larry Bird looked back at his performance saying he is the most exciting, awesome player in the game. I think it's just God disguised as Michael Jordan. Number 5, fever. Number 5, Jordan averaged north of 40 points per game in 5 playoff series. Not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, 5 playoff series. Different ones against different teams or whatever, it didn't matter. 40 plus points. That's telling you I want to win. And one of them was in the finals against Charles Barkley and his people. I tell you, there's a bad man. Few players in NBA history have ever had the ability to score 40 points against the typical tougher defense they face in the playoffs. Fewer even can claim to have done it multiple times. Michael Jordan, the record holder by a fair margin, did this over and over and over and over. In fact, in over 1/5 of the playoff games he played through the course of his career, 38 times in 179 appearances to be exact. 38 times out of 179 times he played 30 in the playoffs. 38 times he scored over 40 points. The next highest player on the list, 40-point games, is LeBron James. So you see, but LeBron has been 21 years in the making. But still, by a fair margin. And LeBron has done it 27 times in 238 attempts. Yeah. 27 times LeBron has scored 40 points in 238 appearances. 1/9 of the games he's played in. In addition, Jordan is the only player to average 40 points per game for an entire playoff series, more than twice. And he's done it 5 times. And one of those times came against Charles Barkley and the Phoenix Suns in the 1993 NBA Finals. While the other came in the Eastern Conference playoffs, once against the Cavs in '88, which he averaged, 45 points, 45.2, the highest of any player in a single playoff series. Yeah, those numbers are astronomical. Please, open invitation for you LeBronies. I have more facts. I haven't even got to the 9-time all-defensive player selection. There's other things that we can talk about, y'all. The greatness is not flopping around, proclaiming yourself, I'm the greatest, when you surround yourself with superstars. Greatness is taking journeymen and say, come with me. I know Jordan teammates, some of them, complain and, doing tours. Oh, he bullied me into winning. I wish you bullied me into winning. Did they only give championship to Jordan? I think some of y'all got rings too, right? So shut your mouth and enjoy it. This is Real Talk with Kingsley. Open forum, LeBronies. Come talk. Come, hey, bring your facts. I'll be respectful. I had a very good friend of mine, a professional basketball player. We were talking about this. I said, I don't want to offend you, but you exhibiting, I thought you had great IQ, respected you until you start going this lane with LeBron. I start throwing facts at him. And he's like, no, that didn't happen. Look it up. No, this. Yes. He was almost, I'm like, don't get mad at me. When one fact I like to throw at LeBronies. ESPN, and this is real talk. Y'all need to, stop this false marketing of LeBron James. Most consecutive, games without scoring less than 10 points. It's a lie. His streak was broken a long time ago in the playoffs. So what y'all do now? Y'all stop counting the playoffs. You only count regular season. You put a footnote on there. Say it out. This is only regular season. He has the most, double digits, in the regular season. It's not consecutive games. And where does it matter the most? So who cares if you score 10 points in the regular season? Come in the playoffs, in the finals, you score 8 points in the finals. 8 points in the finals. And you lose the finals. Come on, y'all. Get y'all false gold and get off my Lakers. That's the only objection I have right now. I have no other qualms with LeBron James. He's a fantastic player. But man, like somebody I was, having a conversation with one of the LeBronis, right? You know what he told me? Oh, the man is 39 years old. This man makes $51 million a year just from the Lakers. You know how many good players we can buy with 51 million? Come on now. It's not like he's getting like, oh, he's in there just like giving us free service. When he failed, they bring up his age. What? I heard Gilbert Arenas sound like like I don't understand this. Gilbert Arenas is a professional basketball player, but he makes questionable decisions. Like back in LeBron, he started like, oh, he's none of y'all greats played to 39. Okay, we're not disputing that. And he's also making $51 million a year. So we should, because he's performing at a high level, so he's doing the same thing he does in every team. Just barely get you enough hope to keep paying him. Like I said, Gilbert Arenas, makes questionable decisions. So, it's not like he's going to be my confidant, when it comes to something like this. It might be biased in his opinion. Like I said, I've heard some of the crazy things that he said, and especially when he's talking about players shouldn't pay a larger 125. This fool, that's the same, like they don't need that. They don't need that move. They don't need that move. They don't need it, But like he brought a gun into the locker room, y'all. You know what I mean? I don't know if he pulled it on his team, and I heard so many crazy stories, But I'll tell you this, that tells me right there, he ain't a real one. You know what I mean? The locker room, come on. Like, what you afraid of your teammate? Square up. We're teammates. It's not gonna come down to that. Pulling straps out. Come on. And this is where, like I said, questionable. I'm not even gonna get into it. This is real talk. I'm just gonna keep it real. But this is what I do. I got a forum there. I said, hey, people, I booked this time for somebody, but like I said, this is LeBronis. They always find a reason why they can't come out with facts because they know they get exposed. This is Real Talk with Kingsley over there. Till next time. Let's go.